Everyone, welcome. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Welcome to Friday Spirit Talks. I'm losing my voice a little bit. I've been talking a lot this week. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday Spirit Talks. I'm glad to meet with you. If you are tuning in as a replay, know that for a few minutes, I'm going to welcome people in, so you might want to fast forward a little bit. Excuse me. Or you can use this time to find your little resting place. Find a place to relax. The first part of our session today is just about relaxing. All you have to do is listen and receive for the first part of today. Relax. Chill out. Start breathing. Today I'm broadcasting also to my personal page. And if you're watching on my personal page, I really suggest coming over, not on this video right now, but come over to my Alexandra Loves page, because I'm going to stop. I'm in the process of shutting down my personal page and bringing all of my questions, all of my shares and everything over to my Alexandra Loves page. The more eyes that the more people who are looking for me and looking to me, I'm finding that it's better to have them sort of in that place rather than on my personal page. So please, I do suggest that you come over to that page over there, my professional page, Alexandra Loves. Again, I'm just welcoming people in. If you're here, relax. The first part of this, all you have to do is listen. Today we're going to do a little bit of a review of things we've been talking about on Fridays, because there's a lot of new people. And for those of you who've heard some of the things I'm going to say today, it's good to hear it again, because these are things that are important for you to embody as we build this new world together. Welcome, everyone. For those of you who have access to being able to type, say hello, let me know where you're coming from. As you know, this is a very awkward thing to talk to my own computer and see numbers, but not know that you're really there. It's having the interaction helps me keep this alive. So let me know in the comments who you are, where you're coming from. Just say a little hello, so I know you're out there. I know you're receiving. I'm going to welcome people in for another couple minutes here, and then we'll get started. I will start with last night was not a sleep night for me. It's interesting. I had just done a reading where someone was saying, I can't sleep either. I'm getting those reports back. I've been sleeping, mostly sleeping like a baby, even with everything going on. I've been mostly sleeping like a baby. Hello, Michelle. Hello. Hope you're having a nice morning. Yes, Bisu and I are having a nice morning. Hi, Bisu. Hello. Michelle is here. Everybody else, let me know if you're here. So yeah, there's been a lot going on for me, for the responsibilities, for new responsibilities I've taken on, and also just, I tend to stay out of the news. I like to hear about what's going on. I don't like to hear the sensationalization of it, and I don't particularly like the sort of fear grabs that we get in a lot of our news. Hello, Sophia, Elias, hello. I don't like the sort of fear grabs we get in the news. So I tend to stay away from it most of the time and kind of round up later and find out later what's going on instead of when it first happens. But not this week required me to be digging into the news for specific reasons. Again, for those of you joining me, hi, hello, it's Rofo and do 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 do. Hey, Christopher, Rofo, welcome from Baltimore. We're gonna get started in just a minute here, but after I finish this story, so just relax. For those of you who are new to these Friday Spirit Talks, all you have to do really is lay back and relax, and then we do a breathing exercise at the end. Pretty simple. Anyway, I was digging into the news, and I saw the explosions in Beirut, Lebanon. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I grew up with some Lebanese friends, and I grew up around Arabic, and a phrase that I heard all through my childhood, said in prayers, said as blessings, said on the sides of streets, is Allahu Akbar. And please excuse me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm relearning this word. God is great. God is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. And as I was watching these videos of the explosion in Beirut, I watched a lot of the home videos of like people who are kind of standing on the street doing their thing, or home videos of people who were, in their home cams. And as they were facing this destruction, which a lot of them, they don't know what it is. They just see the smoke and an explosion, right? Or they're just hanging out and they don't even know there's smoke. And then all of a sudden their windows shatter and there's a sonic push. So they're facing this destruction, and all of them just calling out, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This guy grabbing his child, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. There's these people on the street looking for God, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And I'm like, oh my God. And I immediately thought of the lynching of George Floyd and how he's crying out, Mama, and how I've seen that so many times in the lynchings that go on in the United States, and how people call out to their mothers. And it struck me how, what an interesting human thing it is that when we're facing destruction, that we call it to God, we call it to mothers. Mama, Allahu Akbar. Mama, Allahu Akbar. And then we'll put the icing on the cake was my brother, my friends, my new family, all down in Puerto Rico, suffering yet another earthquake last night. And that gets me into what we're talking about today. And that is, when you feel powerless against destruction, when you are facing destruction and you don't know what to do. Because, friends, right now, by the way, this is a Spirit Talk. Sit back and relax and listen. We'll do a breathing exercise at the end. When you are facing destruction, what do you do when you are facing a feeling of everything is coming down on you, everything is out of your control? Okay, breathe for a minute. I forgot to close my windows. It's gonna get loud. Hold on just a second. Okay, so for those of you who come back for this every week, please try to remind me to close my windows as soon as you come into the room, because I forget this every week. Right when we do this, they come and they do the recycling, and it's so loud if I don't close my windows. So when you're facing destruction and you're seeing the power of Mother Earth shaking herself, when you see her explode and pour lava all over an island, or you see human destruction, explosions, bombs, executions, genocide, all which are going on in multiple ways in many facets on this earth right now, and have been. We just didn't really know about it, but now's the time of transparency, so we're seeing it all. Now's the time of global connection, so we're talking about it all. Now's the time where more people are waking up and understanding that they have responsibility, and that they are affected by human rights violations, even if it's not happening right there in their backyard. Right? That's the time that we're in, the time where we realize, where we cannot avoid, that we are the very clear fact that we are all connected. We are all of this earth. We can't ignore that anymore. Some of us know it, and the chances are, if you've been following me, you have some sense of that, or you know it. But there's no depth, right, to how much you can realize that. And it's important to keep remembering that and enforcing that within yourself, and reconnecting with that within yourself, because we do live in systems that benefit off of our forgetting this. Come on, Bisu. Come on. So, how do we remember this in the face of watching our family across the world, our friends across the world, people who we think are strangers across the world lose their homes? How do we remember that we have power, that we can do something, that we're in a time where it is up to us to have a revolution? And by revolution, I mean great change that requires uprooting, that requires looking at the shadows, that requires understanding our own abilities and power. How do we do that when we're feeling the pressure? How do we do that within us? How do we revolve inside us and then have that cause change around us? How do we be responsible? How do we look at something? How do we look at something that we used to have one perspective of? Oh, these people are amazing, they're great, everything is beautiful. I empathize with these people, but also realize that they too have their own darkness and their own poison and everything they're trying to deal with, and still be able to tolerate and or love them and figure out how to create a world with them, right? Okay. So how do we do that? We do that by knowing who we are. Oh, such a simple thing. Like, the concept is simple, right? I know who I am. I know where I come from. But remember, there's no end to how well you can know yourself. You have infinite depth because you are a divine being. And here's where the review comes. For those of you who've been coming to Friday Talks, Friday Spirit Talks, I want to review with you where you come from. This is part of the work that I encourage all of you to do. This ancestry work, this spirit work. Find out who you really are. Okay, so, excuse me, Bisu. Once he's planted, he's planted. Okay. Okay, so you have your spirits and your ancestors, and they got together and they made you. Now, this is a really, really simplistic way to explain this. They got together, they made you. You are a sum of all that came before you within your spiritual and bloodline, and a sum of all of these aspects of deity. Okay? All these aspects of deity that become spirit. All of these aspects of ancestors who have ascended into a different spiritual realm, who have come closer, who have become more aligned with that which is God, but at the spirit level. Okay? This is really simplistic. Okay? So your spirits and your ancestors get together. They make you who you really are, which is a spirit. And they put you into a body so that you can have the spiritual experience that we are all having, even little Bisu's having. That is, well, That is being a being. I was going to say being a human. Bisu isn't human. We're all having a spiritual experience of being a being here on earth. This is one place we can all connect no matter what is happening. That is true for all beings, including my little kitty here, right? So when you are made, you are given destiny. And by destiny, I like to say, it doesn't mean that you absolutely must find that sword and pull it from the stone and then create a round table of crusaders and fix all the kingdoms around the world. It's not that specific. By destiny, I mean your nature and your purpose. Your nature and purpose is coming from what your spirits and ancestors have given you. And with that, you get gifts. With your destiny, which is your nature and purpose, you get gifts and blessings, and yes, sometimes burdens. And those gifts and blessings are there to help you reach your fullest potential in this lifetime, in practice for another iteration of yourself that comes maybe after death and a rebirth, right? And there's something to remember about when you were made, and that is these celestial beings, this divine team of yours, these otherworldly beings have access to a record. They have access to a record of what was, what repeats, what will be. They have some access to a record of what else is being brought into the world at the same time that you will arrive in this world, because you're made specifically, right? They're giving you the best chance that they can give you. They know that you would be in a time of explosions going off everywhere. They know you'd be in a time of a highly populated world. They know you'd be in a time where you would be seeing torture on screens. They know you'd be on a time where people were fighting left and right. They knew you would be in a time where big conglomerate countries would be fighting, right? They knew something about that, or at least knew the high potentials, the measure of potentials of the things that you would experience in this world. And so in remembering that, and in knowing the intention for you to live fulfilling your potential, fulfilling your destiny, that you were given gifts and blessings to navigate this situation that we're all in on earth right now. When you connect to those things, when you can embody these understandings, when you can connect to these gifts and blessings that you were given with all of this in mind, you will find a purpose. You will find your true nature. And when you can start to realize those things and embody those things, that is where your power is. That is where you can be effective in this world. I think what I'm hearing and what I hope everybody comes to realization is that we all have to rebalance what is going on. If we want to end the fearing and the genocide and the human rights violations, if we want people to live in dignity and to be fed, if we ourselves want to feel comfortable and feel secure in our own resources, I think we're all realizing now, and if you haven't, I invite you into this realization, is that when we can help others, it's such a cliche thing, right? When we can help others, we can help ourselves, right? We're only as strongest as I say our weakest, but it's not necessarily their weakest, it's just they don't have as much access, or that people might not have as many rights, right? We can only be as strong as a people on this world, as humans, as beings in this world, as those who are suffering. Your solutions to the fear, the anxiety, and depression is to be in your gifts, to be living in your nature and your purpose, and to help others with what you discover there. When you see the explosions in Beirut, when you see the bodies, when you see all the layers of all the discord there that was happening there before and now, when you see the human rights violations in Puerto Rico, and you see them get hit with yet another hurricane and another earthquake, when you see the lynchings of people on the street that look just like your best friends, or maybe if they're not your best friends, they look like people you know, they look like me, right? And you feel that pressure, and you feel like, how? This is so much. How am I going to do anything? Are we going to survive? Who is going to take care of this? You are. You are going to take care of it. You are going to rebalance it. You are the revolution. In here first, it will affect what's going on out there. In here first, finding our power, using it to help others. It sounds conceptually so simple, right? For those of you who are able to type, do you know what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? It sounds conceptually so easy, but it's not always as easy as I'm saying. We have to dig through a lot of our own muck sometimes to feel our own value, to feel our esteem, to believe, to know, to wake up every day possible, embodying, I do this. I change the world. It's so easy. It's so easy to stay in cynicism and to stay in powerlessness and to stay into the plugged in condition of, it's too late. We're doomed. It's so easy. That's our program. The program of those who want to manipulate us and those who want to control us make it really easy for us to say, I can't change the world. For us to put down those who are trying to make big changes in this world. That's easy. Someone's saying, I hear you. We each have power and a part to play. Yes. The last thing I'll say before we start our breathing exercise is that, we hear about the peaceful warrior, right? And sometimes it's used as a buzzword, but I mean it in the very deep sense, in the very pure and primal sense. I use it here to remind you that this is the warrior work. The work of really knowing who you are, really understanding your power, creating the revolution that is necessary inside. That alone already, you're going to find a war within yourself. All of that. And then to allow yourself to be seen in this world, to be of effect in this world, to be a part of a revolution, of a movement, of the building of the new world. I'm telling you right now, most of us are born as warriors in this time, specifically in this time, purposefully in this time. So that's what I have to say about that. More spirit talks next week. I believe it is happening next week at 8:30. Just stay tuned on my Alexandra Loves page because my schedule is a little crazy with all these new responsibilities. I'm going to pick a card for affirmation and our gratitude today as we do our 9-minute practice. It's terrifying to find our own power when we see and look like those in power. That's how we stay not powerful. It's a good insight. So as we start breathing exercise, we'll breathe for 9 minutes. And I do really simple. a really simple breathing exercise here. And that is when you get to the top of your inhale, sip in a little bit more air. And when you get to the bottom of your exhale, squeeze out a little bit more air. That's it. It's so simple. I will give you more cues as we go on. I will exaggerate this breath for the first few times just so you can sort of see it if you haven't been doing these breaths with me. And give you other cues as we go on. Are you ready, Bisu? Let's see. Are you ready? He's always ready for this. Okay. And inhaling. And at the top of your inhale, sipping in a little more air. You can tell I'm short of breath. I haven't slept very well, so I'm a little short of breath. Go at your own pace with this, obviously. And when you get to the top of your next inhale, sipping in a little more air, inviting this expansion. So we go through this breath. We practice this simple breath in this way as a reminder and a practice. When we get to the top of our inhale and we ask for a little bit more breath, it's a reminder and it's a practice to expand, to make room to grow, to remind ourselves that we can be more than what we think we are, or we've been programmed to think we are. A reminder and a practice. Any solutions that you're looking for, anything that you need to invent for yourself is already in the function of your body. Expansion, contraction, growth, anything you want to understand in the world, destruction, rebirth, it's in your body. Our avatars here are evidence of the nature of the universe. So especially in these times when our personal revolutions are happening and the greater revolutions are happening, when we're in a time of complete destruction and rebirth, the best thing you can do is to expand, open, grow. That's why we ask for a little more. We encourage a little more. We practice, remind ourselves that we can take in a little bit more. And that inhale. And when we get to the exhale, and we squeeze out just a little bit more air. One, it does set us up for that expansive inhale. The other thing it does is it's a reminder and a practice to let go, to not be as attached. One of the reasons that we are in this position where there are systems set up to plug us into being controlled and manipulated, to living in debt, to following through with instigated fights that distract us from the seeds of the real problems. One of the reasons that we're in this situation is because we've been programmed to be attached to a reality that doesn't reflect what's really inside us, a reality that is designed to keep us in fear, a reality that that is set up for us to be controlled, to get us attached to ideas and beliefs that make it easy to control us. So right now, the encouragement is to let go of what you don't need, let go of the beliefs you don't need, let go of the identities that you don't need. To be unattached to the way the world works, the way we've been told the way the world works, the way we keep getting educated and get conditioned to believe the world works. Let it go. It doesn't only live in our minds. We start to store that fear. Those ideas become mass. We store it in our bodies. We store it in our tension. Let it go. Let it go more. Let it go more. And then enjoy the expansion that comes after that. Yes. We're more than halfway through, so right now I'm going to encourage you to bring back your mind to this breathing practice. If this breath is too intense right now, just take expansive breaths. We're going to use this card as an affirmational card. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I will read it. Patience. I practice patience now because I trust in the divine timing that is present in my life. The divine timing of you being here right now, all of us together, listening to these messages. The divine timing of a resource coming into your life when you most needed it. The divine timing of hearing exactly what you needed to hear right then and right there to give you peace, joy, a solution. Remembering those times. Remembering that more of those love drops, those nuggets, those pieces of support are coming. Having patience for whatever it is that the struggle is for you right now. Having patience. Breathing in, focusing on gratitude that you can have patience. Even if it's just a little bit of patience. That you have the ability, that you have the will to create patience. I practice patience now because I trust in the divine timing that is present in my life. That's from the Transverse deck. We have just a minute here left. And now please focus in on something that you are grateful for. Anything that you are grateful for. A person, a place, a thing, a feeling. You might be grateful for our time here right now together. I am. I'm grateful for this warm cat on my lap. Little Bisu. Yeah. Relishing in that gratitude. Being selfish and being selfish in your exploration of that gratitude. Relishing in it. And now, taking the most expansive breaths you have taken that you can muster in this time together. Setting the stage for the day. Before we go, I want to let you know that we're back here doing this again next Friday. I'm pretty sure we're back here doing this again next Friday. Stay tuned on my page so that I can let you know. Stay tuned for announcements. There's all sorts of stuff going on. I just have to be better about letting you know. I have a free gift for you. As always, if you go to my website, alexandraloves.com, there's a gift called Unstuck Remedy for Toxic Internal Toxicity. Now more than ever, if you're getting triggered, if you're oversensitive, if you're just feeling the pressure, go get that free gift. It's a download, it's a class, it's something that'll help you. Once you learn it, then you can practice it like this. It's for you to keep. It is a free gift. By that I mean there's not a sale attached to it. It is a free gift. Also, those of you who want to work with me in bigger ways, you can always go to my Work With Me tab on my website. We do deep dive sessions there. And then a lot of you know that I pull cards and stuff. A lot of you have been asking for our card pulls, and I haven't been telling people you can get card pulls from me. I posted that in the just simple card pulls. I posted that in the post of this video. They're just $40 card pulls. I deliver them right to you. They're personal. I go over what's going on, what specifically is going on for you, give you guidance and tools, and they are thorough. So for those of you interested in that, that is an option for you. And lastly, I always ask for reciprocation. Part of living well for all of us is to know, to ask, to get reciprocation. And you can do that in many ways. You can donate, of course. But if that's not resonating for you, if that's not what you can do, then please go to my page, check out my page, tag your friends in the videos, put lots of comments in the videos to boost them. Share anything from my page and let people know. Spread the message around. I want to spread this message around of connecting to your spirit, working with your ancestors, knowing who you really are, creating the internal revolution. I want to birth this new world. I want to be part of creating this new world. And I want to bring people with me who are building the new world as well, or building the new world curious. If you're watching me at all, then you're at least curious about what your role is. You have a role. You were made specifically. You are supposed to be here. You are supposed to be in your power. You are supposed to know your gifts. Purposefully, specifically. You are powerful. Even if you don't believe that in this moment. I know for some of us that there's resistance or it makes us cry. You are powerful. I can hold that for you until you can hold that for you. I know it. So reach out. I hope to work with you all. You'll see me before next Friday, I'm sure. But for those of you who are Friday returners, thank you. Thank you for keep coming back. Thank you. For all of those who are new to our Fridays, thank you for showing up. Bless